pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
Motion made and seconded. Motion passes. All right, next we'll have a report of our board members.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
last Friday night, I had the privilege of going to Baldwin, Missouri, and watching Raytown High School girls basketball team compete in the quarterfinal, which they happened to win. So this Friday, anybody want to go to Springfield, they can watch them play in the semifinals of the state tournament, and then Saturday play in the finals after they win on Friday. This is the first time that a girls team from Raytown High School has made it to the Final Four. So I'm sure they're running around on cloud nine today when we got back to school. They're a great team to watch. They're a great group of girls, and they are 24-2, I believe. And the team they beat Friday night was one of the teams that had beaten them once this year, so they kind of got a little bit of revenge back on them. But they conducted themselves real well, and just a great group of girls to watch. So Springfield, Missouri, this Friday and Saturday. I encourage you to show up. Thanks, sir.
All right.
I had the privilege this month. I don't have exact dates. It's been a long month, but of going down to Warrensburg and for their jazz festival, and got to listen to Raytown South High, their jazz band, their combo, Raytown High's jazz band and combo, and then Raytown Middle and Central Middle. And so we had a really good showing. We had ones, both high school bands got ones, both combos got ones, and we got multiple. And Raytown Middle got a one, and we had multiple soloist awards. So it was a really good showing. And then I also had the privilege of being at academic night a week and a half ago, and it was a great time to get to shake hands and meet all of our outstanding juniors and seniors.
All right, Mr. President, I just have a lot of updates on some things I've been up to. So like a lot of the other board members, I was able to attend the superintendent's State of the District address. And it was really great to know the positive things we're doing as we move forward. I actually had the pleasure of being a debate judge at Central Middle School, and I got to spend time with 7th graders, and I judged their improv round. And in between time, they told me like really funny jokes, like, what do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. And then I got to visit some of our schools on Thursday. I went to South High, saw some students in Spanish class interviewing each other. I went to a College World History class where they were graphing the GDP. And then I had the pleasure of running into a former student of mine who was a 9th grader way back when, and he's on staff at South High. I went to Three Trails Preschool, and I got to do the morning routine with the preschoolers. So that was pretty fantastic. And then I came back to Central Middle because I was looking for my debate partner that helped me earlier that week, and she was my tour guide as I went to an ELA class, history classes, and multiple other classes. Just a quick shout out to Blue Ridge Elementary. Board President, Mr. Burton, and I, we read to 3 kindergarten classes where he was Gerald the giraffe that could not dance. And so he acted Harry again. And that was in support of the readathon. I also went to Fleet Ridge Elementary, home of the stars, and that's where my 3 former Raytown students, that's where they went to elementary. So it was great to visit some of those classes, to check in on teachers and really thank them for the education they provided for my girls. And then Mr. Burton was there. He got to see his grandbabies. Then I went to Spring Valley and I got to see a preview of a musical. And then Southwood Elementary is kind of where I rounded up my day, where I visited a 3rd grade math class, 4th grade reading class, and then I got to see 2nd grade art students previewing their work and giving each other some really constructive feedback. So some other things that I've actually had the privilege of doing was attending 2 legislative learn and lunch sessions with MSBA. I did some board members refresher training. And then just on my own, just to kind of keep growing as an educator and to be an informed board member, I attended some community resource fair in support of trauma-informed practices, multi-tiered systems of support, and AVID training, one on growth versus fixed mindset. And then I met with an individual over in an organization called Young Women on the Move. As well as completing a 7-month fellowship for board members across Missouri and Kansas. So I was really busy.
Man. So I really appreciate all the board members and the activities they've been in and oh, you had something, Rick?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
okay. Well, yeah, I'm kind of exhausted just from Natalie's report there, so he did enough for all of us, but I had a chance to do some reading at Blue Ridge Elementary too, and I was also impressed by the amount of money they've raised through their readathon too. So congratulations to them and the teachers and everybody for doing that over there. One of my favorite times of the year is when we get these cards and letters from the kids, and I always like to read a couple of those because they're really pretty cool. And these will surprise Dr. Penelope too. Surprise Dr. Penelope, I think, for some of the things that the kids are saying. Dear Mr. Moore, thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the snow days. But then she says, I love school. And then I think there's a theme at this school because Eden said, thank you for all that you do and for tons of snow days. But the best one is from Addie. Addie says, Dear Mr. Moore, thank you for all you do. We appreciate you. I love that you know when it is going to snow. Oh, Addie, if you were only that right about everything. So, but appreciate, so thank you, teachers, for having your kids do these letters of appreciation. We really like getting those.
I just want to thank the board members for the activities and the things that we're getting involved in support of our students and just our community. I did participate in some of the same events, but one that was different, I got to attend strategic planning sessions with the administration this past Thursday and Friday, and it was I'm really excited about some of the things that were being discussed, and you guys keep your eyes open for what is going to come. Look forward to what our new administration is going to be proposing for us. And so I just want to say thank you all for that, and I think that concludes our board member reports. Next, we have the report of the superintendent.
Okay.
Of the
Okay.
excited, the great superintendent.
So good evening, Chairman Burton, Vice Chairwoman Plank, members of the Raytown Quality School District Board, and of our amazing community. The next item on the agenda is the report of the superintendent. And I just wanted to take a moment before I get into the individualized items, just to talk about the work that's happening within our district a little more in detail. I want to extend a big thank you to our board members. to members of the community as well as our executive team for finding time in your very busy schedule to make your way to our schools. This month, we celebrated Reading Across America, and it's never too late for you to go into our schools to be a model of excellence for our children. It is very tiring, so I encourage you to take your vitamins before you go, but just make sure that you take a book, touch bases with our principals and our administrative teams, and just read to our children. They enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I know that they would love to have your presence. So while we celebrate Read Across America, I think we need to continue with having Read Across Raytown. And so our children need you. Our children need us. And so that's one of the ways in which we can show them our support for their the work that they do every day, and to show that we value and appreciate them. This month is very busy. And so if you follow our social media and look at our communications, and I just want to say thank you to our communications department for always staying on top of the information that's necessary to keep our community informed. This month, we celebrated our social workers. So if you know of a social worker, please tell them thank you. The work that they do, oftentimes they're behind the scenes and you don't see them out front, but the work that they do for our children and for our community is absolutely amazing. So I just want to publicly thank our social workers for the work that they do. I also want to say that this month is there are a couple of items nationally that we recognize and celebrate, and one is Middle School Month. And so this is the month where across the nation we recognize and celebrate the work that's taking place in our middle schools. Our middle schools have opportunities where they're having assemblies just to remind our children how much we support and appreciate them. And if you're not familiar with middle school, there's an association, AMLE, where you can stay informed of the work that's happening around middle school, and again, showing our support for middle schools. It is also Music in Our Schools Month. And of course, I'd be remiss as always a music educator that we take the time to celebrate music in our schools. We know that with the arts and with athletics, it makes our children even more well-rounded as they're heading out into our society. So please make sure you take the moment, an opportunity to encourage our children to participate in the arts and to support our music teachers. We also had this a few weeks ago, we celebrated our children or our young adults who have a 3.5 to a 4.0, juniors and seniors. And it is just absolutely amazing to see the number of children who have a perfect GPA or a 3.5. Oftentimes, I say it all the time, we often hear the negative things about our children. Let's celebrate the positives so that it overshadows those little negative things that sometimes take the attention away from the positives that our children participate in. And I want to finally say, go Lady Jays. And so we are so excited for the work that our children or our young athletes are doing on the court. I just need to put a plug in for them. Right now, Hy-Vee is taking a vote. We have put it on our, no shame to my game. When it's time for us to support our children, that's what we need to do. There is a link that's out there for Hy-Vee for the team of the week. I think they are the team of the year. So please find that link. It's on our social media sites. Please make sure you find that link. The last time I checked, no competition here, but we were 65% of the votes. We need more. So please find that link, show how much we support and appreciate the work that our Lady Jays are doing and the recognition they are bringing to Raytown. So very good, and I'm proud of you. So on the report of the superintendent, the real information, items 8.1 through 8.7 are informational items for the board. And at this time, I'd like to move to 8.8 to have our amazing leaders from our high schools come and present the student representatives report. Ladies.
Good evening, Dr. Martin Knox. Good evening, Board of Education. I just want to let y'all know right now, strap in for a real long one. I'm just say that. So we got winnings going all around with our girls basketball going to the quarterfinals, and seniors are planning on taking like a big road trip down there to support them. We also had recently let me make sure I say this right, the Missouri Dance Association. No, that wasn't right, but I tried. They recently had their state competition. So Raytown South placed first place for their props dance, and Raytown High placed 5th for their mixed dance and 2nd for their hip hop dance. overall in their district. So we are very proud of them for that. Me and Toshi attended that. Very, very entertaining to see. They did amazing. Do you want to do it, Maya Johnson?
Yeah, so we're seeing that Amaya Johnson places for Raytown High, sixth place all state. I don't
In wrestling.
in wrestling, which is also really cool. Amaya's been doing a lot recently in terms of the business competition that she went to where she actually qualified to state. And I don't know if we talked about that last time we were here, but she's been doing some really cool things. And then in terms of speech and debate, we're seeing that Raytown South High School, they placed third in dramatic interpretation. And we're seeing that DeTravion Jackson placed first place in info, which was also super cool because as a debater, it's really hard to qualify to nationals, and that is something that they managed to complete. Then again, talking about speech and debate, we had a voter drive recently to get people to vote for the election that's coming up for the bond issue. And while we did that, we passed out information alerting them that April 4th is the time to go and vote, because obviously while outside of the bond, it's important to vote. We also want to make sure that we're empowering our own community and that we're trying to provide those benefits where necessary.
Also, it's kind of really busy for student council because we're recently also going to state this week. We do what student council does best, and we are running for state secretary. So wish us luck on our journey this weekend. We're also hoping to get the Gold Honor Council Award for all of the things that our student council has done recently throughout the year. And then if y'all haven't heard, we had the Raytown South Bird call the Cardinal recently for an entire week. That was a very, very fun week for all of us at Raytown, having two birds in one building. They have it back now. They got it back. Just want to say that much. We didn't steal it.
Allegedly.
We didn't steal it, but we had it. So it was a very, very fun month, and we just are having a lot of fun over at Raytown High.
Oh, and one more thing, don't let her sell herself short. Amaya is going to be receiving an award at state this weekend. And Amaya has worked so hard throughout our student council, and she literally does everything for Raytown and for the school district. And there's nobody I know who cares about our community more in terms of students. I mean, I'll say y'all.
I just want to say the award is called the Distinguished Student Leader Award.
Yes.
If anyone,
Emphasis on that.
just saying, just saying that much. Okay, that's all I have. Is there any questions?
Hey, congratulations and thank you for that report.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you also was one of the students that had the 4.0. Yeah.
4.13.
4.0 students aren't competitive at all.
Just.
So you're both at Raytown, right?
Yes,
So you were just giving some South reports out of the goodness of your heart then?
right.
Okay.
Out of the kindness.
Because we support across the line. We love Raytown.
Actually, at the
Appreciate that.
dance competition, we had blue and red. We were supporting everybody.
Yeah,
Like, we did our
was-
big one.
We
Yeah.
was doing good. Yeah.
All right, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah, keep it between us, y'all.
In this room,
In this room.
please.
Don't look
Thank
at-
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright.
And before we conclude the report of the superintendent, I don't know how I missed this one. But I just need to also say kudos to Zaya Akins. She once again has represented Raytown Quality Schools as well as Raytown South High as she won the National Girls Championship in the 400 meter at 53.45. Absolutely amazing athlete. She's a senior this year. She was here in front of our board being recognized a few months ago. So if you see her, please congratulate her for a job well done. Now, this really does conclude the report of the superintendent.
All right, good news. Next we'll have, did you know?
I do this every month. Good evening, Board of Education and Dr. Martin Knox. First, a big congratulations to Robinson Elementary Great Expectations students for logging more than 158,000 minutes of reading during the Read Bowl Challenge. Robinson first and fifth grade teams earned the state championship titles for their divisions. The goal was to pass the minutes logged last year, which was 70,000. They did that and much more, so congratulations to those students. We've talked a lot already about Read Across America. I will just say, hopefully you've had the chance to look at our social media channels and check out some of the fun photos from the past 2 weeks. This month, we have 2 Ray of Hope honorees. Westridge fifth grader Lux Evans and Raytown Middle School teacher Angela Dahlem. Here's a video about why they are a ray of hope.
with her students, calling them up to sit beside her to help them with assignments that they may not understand from the given instructions by the classroom teacher, but she, as a special education teacher, always jumps in to make sure that all students are learning, again, at high levels. When it comes to having a positive attitude, she exudes that here at Raytown Middle School. You would see her walking around, hanging out with her colleagues, complimenting them, always being a consummate professional with whomever she deals with. And I can appreciate that because throughout all of our communications, we've made sure that we both are heard and listened to, and then we come up with a solution to move forward, to do what's best for students. Angela Dahlem is our ray of hope here at Raytown Middle School, and I'm so happy that she gets to receive this honor.
I would like to let you know why I nominated Lux Evans. She's a 5th grade student here at Westridge, and why I nominated her for the Raytown Ray of Hope. She is an amazing student. When she came to us, she was a 3rd grader, and she was struggling to even read at all. But what amazed me about her was that she was so tenacious and that she wanted to learn. And so within the first year, she had learned to read. And even when it was hard, she would tell herself, I can do this, I got this. And she never gave up. And that's so amazing to find a student who's so self-motivated. And not only that, but she was so willing to help others. And I have to say that she has had here at Westridge 4 amazing teachers that each have given her something that she needed just to push her on. I have this fluency test, and every time I would give it to her, she'd go, can I do that again? I can do it faster. I can do it better. I know that word now. And as a teacher, Lux inspired me to want to give her my best every single day. I know a lot of people say that the future is a scary place, but for me, I know it's going to be amazing because Lux is going to be the future. And she told me the other day that she thinks she wants to be a teacher. And I know she's going to be a great one because she's got the empathy, she's got the skills, and she knows what it's like to struggle and to persevere and to be successful. So that's why I nominated Lux Evans as my ray of hope for Raytown.
And I am going to ask Lux to come up first. We have 2 big groups, so Lux, you'll join us. I know we have your principal here and any other family members who want to come up and your teacher.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Have the script, but when you see the passion and dedication, there are more teachers like this one right here. Where you recognize the good in children and you push and you push and you support. So I just want to say thank you.
And Donald, if you will come up, this is in two parts, so I know you have family and a big support team here as well.
Hi, Al.
Rachel, little team. Everybody got it, okay? I got it. Yeah, I got it. Oh, that's. There you go.
So very much.
Okay, one more. This evening, we also want to recognize board members Terry Landers, Rick Moore, and Natalie Johnson-Berry for completing their MSBA board member refresher training.
Quit crying, Terry. All right. I want to take a moment to recognize two board members that have served us a long time that did not go for re-election this year. And first, I just want to read their bios. Director Mr. Terry Landers was elected to the board in 2005, 2008, 2011, 2014, 2017, and 2020. Landers is a current board member that's a retired educator and administration from the Raytown School District after 31 years. So he's been dedicated to us almost some of our whole lives. He's an active member in the Retired Teachers and School Personnel Association and other organizations such as the Raytown Education Foundation, where he represents the board and reports back to us. I'm sure he'll be probably doing some of that tonight. He and his wife, Susan, are parents and grandparents of Raytown South High School graduates. And so we just want to thank you and honor you and tell you how much we really appreciate all you've done for us. And we know that it'll be continued in other capacities. So we really appreciate that. And then we have Board Vice President, Mrs. Beth Plank. She was elected in April of 2017 and 2020. There's more than that, right? Seemed like it was before that. But anyway, she actually beat me in one of those elections. But she and her husband Aaron have 4 children: Abigail, Calvin, Gideon, and Maxwell, and they all graduated from Raytown High School. And she has been involved in the PTA, serving as president at Northfleet and Central Middle, and on the Raytown PTA Council in a variety of roles, including council president from 2013 through 15. She's also been a part of Community Advisory Committee in 2010 through 2011 and 2016 through 2017. And a parent representative for the Raytown District Refresh Bond issue that passed in 2014. Beth Plank attends Life Connection Church and works for Bax Communication in Raytown. And we just want, we need to update this. But anyway, just that she definitely has served as vice president the last 2 years that I've been president, and I really rely on those phone calls and writing those letters that I get to sign, but I really appreciate this service. We all do, and we look forward to you helping us out in other capacities. Thank you. And so we do have plaques for both of them. I don't know if pictures are in order. Yes, we will. Man, the culture of board meetings sure has changed. Real sentimental today. We don't have anybody for public comment tonight, so we'll go past that one. And next we have our board committee reports. If there's any. Looks like anything for finance committee?
No, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay. And, Citizens Advisory Committee, nothing to add there. Looking for a motion for the Citizens Advisory Committee meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the January 17th, 2023 Citizens Advisory Committee meeting minutes and the December 12th, 2022 Finance Committee meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. There we go. Next, we'll have the selection of the contractor for Three Trails Playground.
Good evening, Dr. Martin, Knox and Board. This is a fairly straightforward project. It's the last of the playground renovations at Three Trails. You guys approved this project last year. However, due to some issues with the diocese and property changing hands, we pulled that last minute. So it's just back up. We came in just a little, excuse me, a little bit of $3,000 under budget on this proposal.
Will this be done and ready, like, are we talking fall or earlier?
We'll do it this summer. With summer bond work, it'll be ready for the upcoming school year.
Okay, thanks.
Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I move the board to approve Gunner Construction to renovate Three Trails Preschool Playground in the amount of $266,000 with a contingency of $26,600 for a total not to exceed $292,600.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
Mr. President, so can you give us an idea of where that playground is? Is it different than the one that's already there that we already?
It's gonna be an existing playground. It's mainly fall protection. So that playground currently has like a black rubber mat. We'll go back in, cut everything back, put drainage in it, and then put the turf like all the rest of the buildings have.
Okay. So it is on the same one that's there right now.
Correct.
So we, never, I know. Thought you were leaving. I just thought of it. So as far as the budget and being 3,000 under, we didn't experience anything higher as far as inflation, or what was the budget adjustment?
So we
for
did
that
on the
already?
bid tab, we had bids that were anywhere from, our high bid was 379,000, low was 266. Gunter is not a company we worked with before. However, they won 2017, 2021 KC Contractor, General Contractor of the Year. We vetted them well. They've done a lot of work in Kansas City Public Works, their playgrounds and parks. And they were able to come in right where we needed them to.
Thank you.
Was the bid higher because of the delay with the diocese?
No.
The same price?
Yep.
Thank you. Next, we'll have 2023-24 student device rotation.
Can you hear me? Yeah, that's going to be a smaller rotation than we typically have. When you look at it, we really are just have added high school devices to this one. At this point, we have enough Chromebooks that we can last a year without purchasing the 2 grade levels of Chromebooks we typically purchase, but we just don't have the supplies on our high school devices. Inside there as well, we are going to need to rotate about 25 all-in-one devices, and that's typically going to be for all our office staff and folks like that. So a relatively small rotation in the whole scheme of things.
All right, motion.
I move the board approve the 2023 computer rotation bid to CDWG and approve the purchase of equipment as presented for a total of $425,360.75.
Second.
You got a question?
So even though this is a budgeted item, was this the amount of the estimated expense?
They actually came in just a little bit cheaper than we thought they did. We got a little bit lucky, and I'm going to say by about $5 or $10 a device. So really, we didn't see the inflation we thought we would on that project.
Thank you.
Right. Vote. Motion passes.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve Yellow Dog Networks, Inc. to facilitate the replacement of the district's aging network infrastructure through E-rate services at a total cost of $2,134,329.91.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions? Can you give us a,
Yeah, so this is the project that kind of felt like it hit our pocketbook a little bit more than we were expecting. And if you'll notice, this is really a project that we're going to not be able to realize for another 14 months. And that's where the supply chain's gotten us. We had the same problem last year when we even tried to go this route. For whatever reason, switching equipment is in high demand and it's hard to get. So the good news will be is once that's in place, it will be a robust wireless network for students in the classroom. But we are really going to have to kind of continue to use the equipment we have currently. And one of the drawbacks is one of the portions of our network, the actual switches are going out of service. Now we have a plan to maintain, but this is something we do need for our network. And this is where we thought we might have saved a couple of pennies and nickels on our student devices. This is the one where we're feeling kind of the ugly side of inflation and the supply chain. It's just going to take a while to get here.
is this something did you say that we didn't do it or?
We researched this last year and that's when kind of the heat of when the supply chains were really snarled up. The assumption was they might have loosened up a bit in another year and we've really had the time and it just hasn't loosened up in this one area.
So how much did we originally budget for this?
I don't think the price tags changed too much. I don't have the numbers with me though on what we originally budgeted, Mr. Moore.
All right.
And if you'd like, we can get that number for you.
I'm happy to do that, yeah.
Well, you said it was quite a bit more than what you thought it was going to be.
And that, like I said, I don't remember what it was. It just, when the number hit us, it seemed like a big
The
number.
Yellow Dog's telling us it's going to be 14 months before we get all the equipment in.
Correct, sir.
Do they typically use Star Trek type numbers when they're saying that? Say 14 when it's really going to be 4?
No, I think they're giving us a reliable number because all the bidders quoted something very similar. And like I said, we did go with the low bid, so there were bids that actually did come in higher.
Next, we have the fiber addition.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve Unite Private Networks to install and maintain the network fiber at Raytown High School and Raytown High School Gym contingent on the passing of the bond for a one-time fee of $61,339.66 and a monthly fee of $1,226.
Motion made and seconded. I assume this is something we have to do now because to get the rate.
Yeah, and this is a little bit unrelated to the overall network kind of overhaul. Raytown High is kind of one of the most important buildings when we think of our fiber. We have some of our backup services actually hosted there. So some of that's in response to the backup services that we have hosted at Raytown High School. And then of course, some of the work that may be happening there.
Is this also 14 months? Is this
Um,
also a later date?
No, this I believe would be near instantaneous. This is more just to get the fiber lit, if I understand correctly, sir.
I guess I'm asking that because it says contingent on passing of the bond.
Yeah, I see. And I think once the bond passes, I think that one will be pretty quick to implement.
Okay.
I don't think we're having to order a lot of equipment.
So I'm still not clear on that. So if the bond doesn't pass for some reason, we would not do this project? But
Yeah, yes, correct, sir.
But we need to do it
I think with the bond, we would, yes.
because of the new construction. We're adding that in.
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear about that. I apologize.
Okay.
So why are we approving it now instead of when the bond passes?
That I don't have a good answer for you on that one, sir. So I will follow up and see what I can find out for you.
I can speak to that. There's a supply chain issue related to it. So we wanted to get it in front of the board before the actual passing of the bond or the passing of the bond issue. So once it passes, we can place the order and not have to wait for the next board meeting.
Well, for that reason, and because the bond's gonna pass, I'm voting yes. Next, we have the MOCAT resolution.
Yes, that's me. The MOCAT, I'm sorry.
Need a motion first.
Mr. President, I move that the board accept the resolution authorizing participation in the Missouri Capital Asset Advantage Treasury MOCAT program.
Second.
Motion made in second. Mr. Gibson.
Thank you. The MOCAT, is a brand new investment.
The mic.
Is that better? MOCAT is a brand new,
No.
oh, appreciate it. Oh, I know. I'm like, okay. I haven't been up here in a while. I know. I'm like, the seat is hot now. We have traditionally used a program in the past that most school districts in Missouri have been using. MOCAT is new. They're probably 2 years old, is considered new in finance. And they present us with some additional options. When the bond passes and we have that cash before we actually spend it, we'll want to make use of the markets and get and earn as much interest as possible. And so this creates additional options for us to consider in doing so. So I ask that you approve that.
All right. Any questions?
Is this something that we work with Stiefel on also, or are they working together on?
They are supportive of it, but it is separate of Stiefel. Yeah, it's their own entity. And it was started by the former CFO of Jefferson City School District. A pretty, I would say, reputable.
But if the bond passes, our bond advisors are all,
They recommend that
Okay.
we look in, not necessarily put all of the money into this particular option, but definitely consider it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's vote.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, there we go. Motion passes. Approval of consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the March 13th, 2023 consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. You had some comments.
So good evening again. I just wanted to preface by thanking the board for their continued support of doing what's best for our children and our staff. Oftentimes we speak about our children first, which they are, but I also need to talk about our staff. And so over the past few months, there have been decisions that we've made that Mr. Moore has received accolades about in terms of predicting the snow. We've had 2 snow days that were one was unanticipated and the other one we knew was going to occur. And so I tell people all the time, the most difficult decision for a superintendent to make is one that's weather related. You either get it right or you don't. And so I think that we've gotten it right because at the forefront of all of our decisions is about staff safety and student safety and the safety of our community. And so we made 2 decisions to close schools on those 2 snow days. And so I just want to publicly thank the board for supporting the recommendation to forgive those 2 snow days for our staff. So we do not have to add those on to the end of the year, nor do we have to take your spring break. In addition to that, we made the decision also to support our Kansas City Chiefs during the parade, if you will, so that it would be a family event. And so we considered that a red snow day. And I also want to thank the board for your support in approving that that day too did not have to be made up. So there were 3 snow days that we had utilized when there were 5 that were built into our calendar. Those days will not have to be made up. And so I again thank you. Our children will have the 1,044 hours that are required by Missouri, so they will not have to make up those days. But even when we have snow days, I encourage our children in our community to continue to engage in educational activities such as reading and reviewing your math facts and science and social studies and the arts. But I just wanted to publicly thank the board for allowing us to forgive those 3 days. You can.
So you guys forgive me? I'm still gonna come though. So I'm still gonna come. I promised to go read and I didn't make it to their school.
So you're saying one of the snow days prevented you from doing that?
No, actually it was you. I went to the strategic planning meeting. But it was good.
So the
too.
strategic planning meeting allowed you to strategically miss reading to children?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
the other item that I'd like to address is 1315. School districts have to actually appoint a representative to serve in the capacity of the board equalization for Jackson County. And so when I received that correspondence, I was like, who do I select? But then I realized that there was someone who has represented Raytown over the past years, and probably one of the best meetings that I've ever had. And always as a learner, I had the fortunate opportunity to meet the individual who has served Raytown's community and our school district on the Board of Equalization for Jackson County. And so Mr. Chambers, who's here this evening, I'd like for him to stand so that we can recognize and thank him for dedicating himself and his time. And so I didn't say that it was a great meeting just because he's here. I actually learned a great deal being in his presence. So I just wanted to publicly thank you for your dedication and your time, sir. Thank you.
Right. I just want to read the donations that was made in the last month. We had a donation of assortment of stuffed toys from Hallmark totaling $500 from Crystal Martinez with Truman Heritage Habitat for Humanity to Robinson Elementary School. We had a donation of baskets and paint totaling $100 from Crystal Martinez from Habitat for Humanity to Robinson Elementary School. We had a donation of snacks worth $50 from Mackenzie Cusimano from Mazuma Credit Union to Robinson Elementary School. We had a donation of $162 from Travis Jurgens from Rivers Edge Fellowship Church to Northfleet Elementary School student lunch debt. And we had a donation of $50 from Ascension Lutheran Church to Northfleet Elementary for a school's student lunch debt. We want to thank everybody that made donations, and we greatly appreciate it. And we greatly appreciate, I'm sure the kids benefit greatly, which is our priority. All right, and now? And Beth? There we have it. Meeting, let's take a vote. Make them wait, Bobby, make them wait. All right, meeting's adjourned.